Hey folks, this is Scott at the X-Fed Homestead. Well, today I'm going to look at picking some of my butternut squash, which has been out curing on the earth over there in the garden in the background. And I'm going to look at trying to get some of the other squash that we have. And I haven't grown that type before, and it was kind of a surprise for me, so I'm going to have to examine it and take a look at it and see what kind of squash it is. Although it looks like a butternut squash, I don't know exactly what variety it is. So that'll be exciting to get the squash in, and we'll get it put down in the basement into what we call the root cellar and have it for winter and into next year. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's get to work. Now look at that. That is a squash. That one, put that right next to my head. It's as big as my head. So that looks nice. Now when I pull this vine, you can see I get plenty of them. These are the Waltham Butternut squash. And I try not to break them off, because sometimes you'll break off the top of the stem and you don't want to do that. So I use my knife and I cut them off, and that seems to be good. These will break off eventually when they dry up. But right now, the vines are fairly dry. The leaves are dead. The vines are drying out. There's still a little green left in them. And I could have picked these a week ago or two maybe, but I really want them to turn this nice color tan and ensure that they're ripe. In fact, what I'll probably do, I'll go get some shears, and that will avoid that tearing action that I have when I use the knife and tear that thing off. So I don't want to do that. I'll get some shears. Well, I got my shears here, so that'll make quick work of the vines. But as a bonus, I got a couple of strawberries here on the way. So, nice bonus. I love this gardening thing. So now, we just snip those off nice and clean. I should have gotten this first, but I had my knife with me and I trust it for a lot of work that I do. But this is the right tool for the job. And we're building a nice little patch of squash there. I'll put that in the wheelbarrow. I'll cut it. Look at that. That's as nice as it gets. This is the best crop of Waltham Butternut squash I've gotten in a number of years. And credit it all to the composting and to taking care of the soil in the off season. We got a few little ones, but that's okay. And there's more down the way too. That's the nicest one. Look at the size of that thing. Well, that's it for the butternut squash. If you look over in the wheelbarrow over here, we have at least 30 large, beautiful butternut squashes. But right now, what I'm going to do is head over to the other side of the garden, on the other side of these beautiful nasturtiums, and pick some of the butternut squash that is kind of a surprise for me. It's not Waltham butternut squash, and I didn't really know what kind of squash it was, but it looks like a butternut variety. And maybe in the comments, if you know what it is, you can let me know. I'd appreciate it. So let's head over there and take a look at those. Now you can see I have a lot of beautiful squashes here, and a few of them are green, and most of them have turned this color yellow. So take a look at that. It's shaped like a butternut squash, and I think it is a butternut squash, but I don't know exactly what variety it is. It's probably about 8 inches long or so, much smaller than these butternut squashes that I was getting. Here, let me show you. Look at the size comparison. So here, one to the other. So it looks very similar, but I think what I'm gonna have to do is cut it open and see. Let me do this on the ground. So this one here, I'm just going to open up, and we'll see what we see for flesh, what it looks like on the inside. So look at that. That looks just like a butternut squash. It must just be a smaller variety. Smells just like it too. Well, we'll cook that up soon, but we better pick them before it gets dark. Well, I guess it's a butternut squash. If you know better, let me know in the comments. I really appreciate it. But for now, I'm just going to keep picking them. Now some of these that are a little greener, I don't know if they're going to turn in time. They're off the vine now because I'm harvesting, but I'll crack them open in a little while and see if they're good inside. Well, you can see the beautiful vegetables we've gotten out of the garden this year. And these squashes will keep our family going and our friends going for quite a while this winter and into next spring. So that's all we're going to do for now. It's getting dark, the sun's gone down, so I'm going to put these up by the house, and tomorrow morning I'll move them into the basement. So for now, this is Scott at the X-Fed Homestead. We'll see you next time.